Hi everyone, this is Lais from Be Happy Now, and I'm here today to share with you how Venus is going to influence us in terms of our relationships, the relationship we have with ourselves, and the relationship we have with money in the coming months. So the actual period that Venus will intervene in our lives is March 4th until April 15th. But it already started. It's called the pre-shadow period. So for people that are really sensitive to these changes, like I am, you might already have felt it last weekend or in the last few days. So in the next few weeks already you might be feeling it. And then the actual period, as I said, until April 15th. And then it continues with until May. So it's quite a period now that some of us might be feeling emotional. Fears might be coming up in terms of our relationships and the relationship we have with money. So what I wanted to share with you today is that it's quite a karmic period. It's a period where, unresolved business from past lives might be popping up, and you might find it hard to resolve it in your relationship because you're constantly triggering each other with your fears, and you don't even know where it's coming from sometimes. It comes out of nowhere, and all these fears pop up, and you're triggering each other, and you might feel like, what's the value in this relationship for me? Is there any value for me, or am I happy in this relationship? You might be feeling unloved. You might be feeling like you deserve better, and both of you might be feeling the same actually. And if you're single, it's the relationship you have with yourself right now that might, cause quite some emotional periods right now where you feel like, nobody loves me, and how will I ever attract the right partner, and all sorts of fears of entering a new relationship maybe. That also comes from past lives where you might have experienced terrible marriages or relationships. And I know that by seeing my own past lives, I had quite some disturbing relationships in past lives. I had to work through all that and take out all those fears of commitment in order to give a relationship a chance, So both for people in a relationship, for singles, it might be quite an emotional time. And in terms of also the relationship with yourself, how you feel about yourself, there might be feelings popping up like, am I beautiful enough? Am I worthy enough? Am I good enough? What do I contribute to this world? What is my worth here? What am I doing? And in terms of finances also, so for people that are self-employed like me, it might be a whole period of fears popping up of, can I make this work? Can I make my business grow? Will I find enough clients or enough projects or enough whatever to pay my rent? I know for me, for example, just at the end of last year, I decided to restructure my business on a big scale, make lots of big changes, and I went ahead and I was, let's go, and I made the changes and I offered completely different packages. Now I'm still restructuring it. But of course, then with the Venus coming into my life right now, I started questioning, is it the right thing to do? Is it really the way I want to go with it? What if I lose all my clients? What if no one wants to work with me anymore? So I went through this despair this last weekend, which was awful. And I hate questioning myself, because this whole idea to change my business was to improve it and to help my clients better on a bigger scale, and for me to grow and for my business to grow. So it came out of a place where I really wanted to serve people better, and I'm really passionate about all these changes, but still those fears popped up. And that's what's happening right now, okay, for everyone. The fears might just pop up even though you firmly believe in your ideas and your projects. And don't let them overwhelm you. I know it's difficult because I was close to giving everything up this weekend, so I can become quite a drama queen sometimes. But it's that strong, it's really, Venus makes you really think deeply of what it is that you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it, and to just test your integrity and your passion that you bring with it. And okay, I'm self-employed, but it might be the same thing with people who are employed. You might have other questions related to your career. Is it the right path? Are people actually valuing you in your position? Are you contributing enough? Are people listening to you? You might have all these questions. And maybe there's also fears around finances. You know, maybe you question whether you deserve an increase in salary, or you are upset that you didn't get one yet, or that promotion that should have come in a long time ago. It's all things that might be popping up in your heads right now. And you might be questioning, you know, your career, or the position you're in, or the way you work with colleagues, or the way things work in your organization or company in general. So don't let all of that overwhelm you too much. And I know it's easier said than done because, yeah, I went through it last weekend. But just know that we are not supposed to take any drastic actions in this period. So wait until Venus is out of the picture again, until, what is it, mid-April at least, before you take any actions. Don't, you know, question yourself too much now and take other drastic actions, or don't go for your dreams and aspirations and projects and just put it on hold because you're too scared of following through. So keep following through until, you know, the time comes where we can sit down and look objectively at what it is that we have created here, and then take a decision, a well-informed decision, because we're more objective, more grounded again, less emotional. And the same goes with relationships. So even though you might be triggering each other like hell in the next few weeks and next few months, just know that now is not the time to say goodbye to a partner or to end a relationship, unless it's really bad, okay? I'm not here to judge anyone who wishes to end something, but just take your time to really reflect objectively, and to see what this relationship is bringing you in terms of happiness, in terms of equality, in terms of anything for you to grow and to learn, right? We always hear in relationships, they serve us to evolve as human beings. So even though they might be difficult, those are the relationships that help us on a soul level to evolve, to understand more about our strengths, our weaknesses. And once the lesson is learned, you can either move on together, right? Or sometimes people go separate ways, and then there's other lessons waiting for them with other people. So this whole period is a very karmic period as well. There's a lot of past lives that will be popping up for healing. If you are together with someone which is like a soulmate, many times with soulmates we had a lot of past lives, and in some of them there might have been unresolved business, and those past lives pop up for healing with big lessons attached to them. And once you understand those lessons, you can actively work on them and let go of those past lives and those emotions associated with that past life. So yeah, just know that this period is not going to be easier, because it's not supposed to be easy. It's a period where we are all being asked to really dive deep into our soul's desires, our soul's needs. And you know, we all have needs and desires in terms of who do we want to be with, you know, how do we see the perfect relationship, what can we bring into a relationship, what we expect from the other one in return. Am I happy in my job? Am I happy in my career? All these questions now, it's a great opportunity for you to really dive deep and to ask all these questions, and to be patient, because these questions will be popping up again and again and again. And to be patient, and to wait until at least April 15th, when you can start taking decisions, if there's any decision to take. For singles right now, my advice is do not start dating someone in this period, let's say March 4th until April 15th, because many times what happens is that our objectivity is just not working. So sometimes we find someone attractive and we go for it, and then after that period, when Venus goes direct, when Venus is not influencing us anymore, we thinking like, oh my god, who is this person that I just got involved with? You know, it's really not my type even. So just be aware if you're single, and just take it easy, take it slowly. If you meet someone that you think you like, you can still take it very slowly, and then wait until April 15th at least to take a decision on whether this person, you know, is the one that you wish to continue seeing. In terms of finances, this period is not a period where you should invest in any luxury items or in anything that, you know, is of high value, if it's property or anything else, car. or big investments. That's really not the period for it, so be very careful with that. What else can I tell you? I think that's mainly it, actually. So yeah, it's a very emotional period. It can be quite disturbing, but as I said, it's there for a reason, and it's quite important that sometimes we dive deep into our souls and all the fears that come up. And the fears are just lessons for us to embrace that fear and to see why it's there, and then to work on it, and ultimately to let it go so that we can grow as human beings, right? And as always, I took some tarot cards. This time it's 2, because I asked how we can navigate this period without freaking out completely. So one card is this, and I don't know if you can see it. It says La Politique, which is politics, which is funny going on with Trump right now. But here the message of this card is, because you could see this guy was holding a mask up front, right? So what this card is saying is, do not pretend everything is perfect, everything is going well. My relationship with my partner is excellent, or at least I don't wish to communicate about anything or try to improve it because everything is okay, or it doesn't matter if I talk about it, it never helps anyway. And then you keep showing this mask to the world and even to yourself, to your partner. This is not a period to do this, okay? This period is there for you to be vulnerable and to open up to people, to your partner, to your friends, and to show your vulnerability, to show what you're going through. Just share your fears and share your dreams and everything that you're going through, and don't be scared of being judged, or don't be scared of being too vulnerable. You can never be too vulnerable. You can never be too authentic, because people who don't stand by you, who don't listen to you when you're being authentic or vulnerable, are not your friends anyway. So it's like a good way to discard those that are not our friends anyway. Yeah, so be aware of that, because I work with so many couples and they come and they tell me, it doesn't matter if I talk or not, it doesn't resolve anything, or so many people pretend for the outside world that their relationships are going well and there's nothing to improve, but there's always something to improve, especially in communication. So make this period really a period where you make an effort to communicate better with your partner, with your friends, with anyone where you might feel like you have a difficult time with right now. And even with yourself, right? If it's a relationship with yourself, with your finances, with what you're going through, take the time to communicate with yourself. And you can do that by journaling or by sitting in meditation and just talking to yourself. So I talk a lot with myself. It helps. And it also helps me to journal it down and to write it down. And then sometimes it just lifts the brain fog that I have. And the second card I took, which is quite nice, I like it. Can you see it? It's here, 2 trees, and it's called L'Amitié, which is friendship in French. Now this card is quite beautiful. It just shows how we should see our relationships, and we should be equals, okay? There's 2 trees, they are the same height, as you can see, but obviously it doesn't mean your partner has to have the same height. It means you should see eye to eye, you should feel equal. There should be no form of codependence whatsoever, whether it's financially or mentally, emotionally. If you feel like there's any form of codependency, it's a period now to tackle it, to work on it, to make sure you feel like an equal in all aspects. And because if it isn't like this, and it is quite toxic for you and for the partner, whoever is now the dominant one or the one that is, more codependent on the other one, it's just not nice. And this trees, they are also both grounded, so they are both individual trees, but their roots, they touch under the earth. So there are 2 individual people here. We need 2 individual people with their own dreams and aspirations, but they come together and make things work together. So this is what's needed in this period, especially to find that equality and that common vision, and to reach out to one another. As you see, the branches, they touch each other, right? It's quite an intimate, nice, close relationship. where we reach out to one another. If one is not feeling well, we reach out, we listen, right, without judgments. It's about unconditional love, actually. It's about allowing your partner to be who he or she is, to listen without judgments, without criticism, and to hopefully, you know, the partner does the same for us, to hold that space when we are not well, so we feel we can talk and be our own person, basically. Yeah, so that's another beautiful advice here from those cards. Yeah, so for you, if you feel like you're going through a very rough time in the next few months and you need help, the help that I can offer is either one-on-one sessions, past life regressions in Geneva, relationship counseling, or have an online program where you can see your own past lives and you can resolve any unresolved karma, any unresolved business, and send healing to that relationship. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments or send me an email. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from you as usual. Lots of love. Bye bye.